Good afternoon, everyone. We're pleased to provide Islanders with a few updates as government continues to put measures in place to support Islanders through COVID-19. This afternoon I have with me Minister Hudson and Minister McKay, and following our update, Dr. Morrison will be joining us to provide additional information from the Public Health Office. So I will turn it over to Minister Hudson.
Thank you, Minister Myers. Over the last number of weeks, Islanders have really come together to help one another. In such uncertain and difficult times, it is important to draw on strong community ties and rely on each other to ensure the well-being and inclusion of all Islanders, particularly those that are the most vulnerable. I want to recognize the innovative initiatives that Islanders are using to stay connected. Initiatives like While Staying Apart, such as Christopher Cross Music at Home and the O'Leary Active Challenge. And today, I'm pleased to announce that the new Islanders Helping Islanders directory is now available online. This directory was an all-party collaboration led by MLAs Corey Deagle, Lynn Lund, and Gord McNeely. The directory lists community services and supports available in each of the 27 electoral districts. For instance, in my home district of Alberton Bloomfield, groups such as the Alberton Lions Club are doing medication drop-off. Western Hospital Foundation and Alberton Baptist Church are providing seniors check-ins, and the West Prince Caring Cupboard is helping with food assistance. The directory will continue to grow, and any organization wishing to add their name to the directory should contact their local MLA. The directory can be found at princeedwardisland.ca/IslandersHelp. Once again, at princeedwardisland.ca/IslandersHelp. Last week, the province announced $250,000 to the United Way of Prince Edward Island to support community organizations with their COVID-specific needs. I'm pleased to say 14 organizations have received approvals for a total of $70,000. As well, I was pleased last week to announce a $10,000 donation to the Community Foundation of Prince Edward Island to start a Tablets for Seniors fund. As of today, over $20,000 has been raised and 81 tablets have been ordered and are expected to be delivered to community care and long-term care facilities next week. I want to thank the many Islanders who have contributed to the fund and have recognized how important the personal connection is for our seniors. To clients of my department, I want to reiterate that even though we have minimized contact, we have not minimized support. Housing officers, social workers, and child protection staff are still working hard to assist Islanders. The Community Outreach Center has moved to a new temporary location to continue to support homeless Islanders while implementing social distancing as recommended by the Chief Public Health Officer. While schools are closed, the new temporary location is Birchwood Intermediate, and the hours continue to be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Islanders receiving social assistance, seniors independent, or accessibility support payments will not see any delay. April payments will still be issued on March 31st. If you receive a check or electronic funds transfer and have any questions, please contact your supports coordinator by phone or by email. Islanders who typically pick up checks at one of our offices can contact that office ahead of time to make arrangements for safe pickup. As well, core funding has continued to be provided to NGOs, including Tremploy, Stars for Life, and Family Violence Prevention Services. I want to take a moment to talk to parents across the province. We know this is a stressful time, and sometimes emotions can and do run high. We are here for you. We are here to help. There are several resources available through the province's COVID-19 information webpage and Family Violence Prevention Services webpage. If you need help, if you need guidance and support, use these resources or call Child and Family Services. Reach out to us. The health and well-being of children is all our responsibility. If anyone suspects that a child is in harm, by law, they need to call Child Protection Services. We all need to stay safe. We all need to take care of ourselves. We all need to take care of those who are the most vulnerable. The province of Prince Edward Island is here to help. We have set up a single toll-free number to connect Islanders with health and business information, as well as to provide support to Islanders who are in self-isolation and require basic needs like medicine, food, and pet supplies. Please call 1-833-533-9333 to access help. Again, 1-833-533-9333. We will get through this in the true Island way, which is by working together and by being there for each other. Now I'll turn things back to Minister Myers.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hudson. So we'll move directly into Mr. McKay and his update.
Thank you, Minister Myers. Good evening, everyone. I'll start off by giving an update on some of the programs we've rolled out over the last week. To date, we have approved 500 applications and rolled out $500,000 from the Emergency Income Relief Fund into the pockets of self-employed Islanders. As Minister responsible for culture, I feel the need to let Island artists and creatives know that this Emergency Income Relief Fund is for you too. As for the Emergency Relief Worker Assistance Program for workers who are still working, but have seen a significant reduction in their work hours due to the impact of COVID-19, 92 applications have been approved for 500 impacted employees, which means close to $114,000 are in the pockets of Islanders. As for our emergency working capital financing for small businesses that we announced last week, to date 42 loans have been approved, totaling $1.7 million. Earlier this week, we announced the Employee Gift Card Program. So far, we've received 768 applications from employers, which means 3,827 gift cards are going out to employees across the province. Originally, when we announced the Employee Gift Card Program, it was designed for island workers who made $25 an hour or less and were laid off directly from the impact of COVID-19. We quickly realized that we needed to change the perimeters of this program because it wasn't helping all island workers that had been laid off due to the impact of COVID-19 and needed help right now. So we have changed the eligibility for the Employee Gift Card Program. So now all employees who were laid off due to the impact of COVID-19 are eligible for the Employee Gift Card Program. And a reminder that like the application for the Emergency Relief Worker Assistance Program, it's the employer's responsibility to complete the application for the Employee Gift Card Program. Earlier this week, I shared that we now have a direct COVID-19 business webpage link that Islanders can visit to see all of these programs and supports we have announced to date. On that webpage, you will find applications for all the programs. A reminder that the web link is www.princeedwardisland.ca/COVID for business. Once again, www.princeedwardisland.ca/COVID for business. For all the programs we've rolled out so far. We continue to ask for your patience as staff are working as fast as they can to get money to Islanders who need it the most. Last fall, our department launched the PEI Broadband Fund. The fund provides financial assistance for the installation of infrastructure to enhance broadband services across Prince Edward Island. This fund is open to internet service providers, communities, and businesses. We know many Islanders across the province are now working from home to practice social distancing. However, we also know working from home creates challenges for Islanders with varying internet connectivity. So because of that, we are expanding the program guidelines for the PEI Broadband Fund. Now businesses or self-employed Islanders can access funds from the PEI Broadband Fund for equipment and installation of MiFi units and Wi-Fi signal boosters. Businesses and self-employed Islanders can now apply for support from the PEI Broadband Fund by visiting www.princedwardisland.ca/COVID-for-business. Once again, www.princedwardisland.ca/COVID-for-business. Every day, government is thinking of new ways we can help Islanders during this challenging time. We realize that all the support programs we've rolled out so far may not fit the needs of every Islander. But I promised last week, and I continue to keep my promise, that no Islander will be left behind. So together, between my department and the Department of Social Development and Housing, in the coming days we'll have details on a couple programs that we have been working on together. I want to wrap things up by thanking all Islanders for your patience as we continue to roll out supports. We know these are tough times, but I promise you, you have our support, and we will get through this together.
All right, thank you, Minister McKay. So just a few updates from operations. All access PEI sites will remain closed following the direction of Dr. Morrison and the CPHO. So all questions and inquiries can be made between 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. by calling or emailing any access PEI location. These phone numbers and emails can be found on princedwardisland.ca. PEI Highway Safety Division is reviewing all services that may be done over the phone or online, and will provide updates as required. And as a reminder, the following measures are currently in place. All expired and expiring PEI driver's license, voluntary ID cards, and vehicle registration permits are eligible for renewal are being extended by 60 days up to June 1st, 2020. And of course, motor vehicle renewals can be done online at princedwardisland.ca. All driver medicals have been extended 60 days beyond the date required to be submitted. Expiring motor vehicle inspections on passenger vehicles are extended by 60 days. Please exercise due diligence and ensure that your vehicle is actually safe to drive. And further to this, all highway safety related permits, licenses, or requirements to submit documents have been extended by 60 days. If required, further extensions will be made on all of those items. And Islanders should be aware that all of these extensions have been broadcast to motor vehicle and enforcement communities right across North America. For our commercial trucking industry, the Industrial Registration Program Office is providing emergency-based service. So on the topic of extending the essential services period here inside the Prince Edward Island government, following the direction of Dr. Morrison again today, it's clear this is our new reality. It could be our reality here for a long period of time. With that in mind, government will continue to provide only essential services for what is now an indefinite period of time. This means buildings will remain closed to public access unless they are providing an essential service. Government staff will continue to work from home. We recognize that we may need to adjust our operations because of this longer period of service delivery limitations, and we're working through these issues as we speak. This could mean our services operate a little bit differently, and it could mean we're moving more services online over this period of time. Also, we're taking this opportunity through our management model that we have in place to review the pressures and successes we are having through the work from home model so that we can use it for a bigger test period after this is over to help address some of the previous concerns that we had but reducing our greenhouse gases by getting more cars off the road. So the opportunity we've been given, we're going to use in a positive to help determine what a work from home model would look like into the future. So as you heard from my colleagues here today, right now many of our new COVID-19 programs we're having great results with Islanders and having them apply online. Between emergency childcare services and emergency income relief and the employee gift card program, we have nearly 3,000 online submissions related to COVID-19. We will continue to be flexible to do what we need to do to keep Islanders safe and supported. We will communicate frequently to the public about any update to service delivery. So please continue to check our website, the princeedwardisland.ca/COVID-19. All current and updated information will be there. And a reminder, as Minister Hudson has already said it when he spoke, if you are struggling with your basic needs, and even if you aren't quite sure who to ask for help, call the number 1-833-533-9333. And the people on the other end of the line will help provide services and help point you in the right direction. We're here to help you, and we're here to get you the information that you need during this time. And last but not least, on my update, as indicated by Dr. Morrison earlier today, we are increasing our provisions at the Confederation Bridge to ensure that only essential travel is taking place. Individuals will be asked questions to ensure travel is necessary and to track information to ensure that people are self-isolating as required. That is the end of my updates. We have Dr. Morrison joining us now, and she'll take over.
Thank you, Ministers. Just a short update in that we have received 2 more positive cases of COVID-19 in PEI, bringing our total to 11 cases. Both cases are related to international travel, and both cases were self-isolating since arrival back in Prince Edward Island. One is a female in her 20s, and the other is a female in her 50s. I spoke with both of them this afternoon. They are home and doing well, and we'll continue, as with all our other cases, to do contact tracing, and that is being initiated right now as we speak. And we'll be in touch with the contacts through public health nursing on a daily basis going forward. Aujourd'hui, on annonce 2 cas plus de Covid-19 ici à l'île du Prince-Édouard. Maintenant, il y en a 11 cas positifs. Les 2 cas sont reliés au travail international, au voyage international, et ils sont tous les 2 chez eux et vont bien avec les symptômes qui ne sont pas pires. Il y a une femme dans le 20e an, et puis une autre femme qui est dans son 5e an à peu près. Et plus de détails, les contacts sont en train d'être faits maintenant. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll go directly to questions from the media.
Okay, we'll start with Nicole Williams, CBC.
Hi there. Question for Dr. Morrison. Where are these 2 new cases living on PEI?
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't indicate they are in the Prince County area.
Thank you. And this next question is for Minister McKay. Can you tell us how many people have been laid off as a result of COVID-19?
Thanks for the question. It's a good question. We're trying to figure that as of today. Daily, it's changing. We don't have an exact number, but next week we should have a better update. We're working on developing another program that's going to help everyone that has been laid off. So we're just working on that final number, but have yet to have that exact count. So hopefully next week we'll be able to update everyone.
Thank you. Carrie Campbell, CBC.
Hi, Dr. Morrison. I just wonder, we had heard from you earlier in the week. You had said that there were calls coming in on the 1-800 line from employees who had concerns about potential risks in their workplaces. I just wonder if you can tell us again, what are some of the concerns that have been expressed, and how is the province dealing with those?
Hi, Carrie. So we are certainly starting to follow up, or have been following up some of those concerns coming in, and they range from, for instance, an employee who may be concerned that a fellow employee or their boss may have returned from travel and may not be self-isolating, and they are concerned about their own safety and the health and safety of other people in the building or in the business. So those are being followed up and as best we can, and certainly some of those concerns are coming in on the 1-800 line. Some of them are by email, and we have a system in place to track those and put them into basically a complaint process, and then enforcement as required. And I know we really appreciate our colleagues in enforcement helping follow up some of those concerns as well. But those would be the types of concerns. Some of it also relating to social distancing, and some of it's with regards to more individuals at their homes, but some of it would be related to business.
Okay, thank you. And I had another question, a follow-up. I don't know if it would be for you or Minister Myers, whoever wants to address it. We heard from Minister Myers about the restrictions on non-essential travel. I just wonder, so if someone is stopped coming off the bridge and that's deemed to be non-essential travel, what are we doing with those cases? Are those people turned back, or?
Do you want me to take that? Sure. I'll take that. So currently, as indicated, there's going to be more stringent questions asked when you get here, try to determine whether or not your travel is essential. At this point, we aren't moving to directly to an enforcement model, but the model is there if we need to go there. But we suspect that people are going to obey what they're being told by Dr. Morrison and not use the bridge for non-essential travel.
Thank you.
I'll just, Carrie, I'll just add to that. I mean, it's important that Islanders still are able to get home, and we still know there are Islanders trying to get home, and they may be students coming home from university, and we want our Islanders to come home. And we know there are people who are coming back from medical appointments. We know there are people coming here as healthcare workers. They work in Prince Edward Island, but they may live elsewhere. And I think it's really important that we those are the people who need to be coming across the bridge. And we don't have a Costco or IKEA that people would be coming to for sort of non-essential travel.
Okay, thank you.
Laurent Rigaud, La Voix acadienne.
Yes, I have a question for Minister McKay. Some companies like Maritime Electric will not cut their services if customers cannot pay their bills. But I'm wondering if there is any plan, provincial or federal, to mitigate the impact on credit score for Islanders who cannot pay their bills at the moment.
That's a good question. Thank you. I've had no discussions myself, but I do believe the Minister of Finance has had some discussions on that issue with their federal counterparts. So I don't have an update on that, but I know she's been speaking on behalf of that. So that's all I know at this point.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Thank you. François-Pierre Dufault, Radio-Canada. François-Pierre Dufault, Radio-Canada. Okay, we will go to Stu Neatby, The Guardian.
Afternoon, everyone. Question for Dr. Morrison. So I'm wondering, it's been almost a week now that the instruction has been for travelers coming from another province to self-isolate for 2 weeks. I'm wondering if the focus on testing has changed since then. I mean, before that, it was focused on Islanders who'd done international travel. Has the testing sort of broadened a little bit to focus on Islanders who sort of come from across the bridge or from another province, or is it just now still almost exclusively focused on international travelers?
No, so thank you for the question, Stu. The criteria certainly was broadened last week to try to make sure that we are capturing interprovincial travel, and so anyone who's coming in from out of province who has symptoms, for instance, cough or fever, within the last 14 days of travel, then they would be tested, and they can call 811 for testing. The international travel, as you mentioned, also testing people who are going into hospital who are really sick and admitted with sort of acute respiratory illness, and they would be tested for COVID-19 regardless of their travel history. Also, what was expanded was to test healthcare workers who have new cough or fever, for instance, whether or not they traveled. And so those are, they were distributed, and that's what we really wanted to do to try to increase the testing and make sure we're capturing more groups than just the international travel.
Okay, and I think we'd asked about numbers of healthcare workers who've been tested so far. Do you have numbers on that this evening?
They are recording it and capturing it, and it's one of the elements in terms of our data reporting that we will be looking at, and certainly in terms of who has COVID or who does not, that kind of information in terms of healthcare workers will be captured, and it will be part of our surveillance data. So I don't have those numbers in front of me, but it is something that has been worked on over the week, because they are collecting the information if they're healthcare workers or not. And so as we are able to report on more of these numbers in our cases, that will be something that we can capture.
Okay, and just a question for Minister Ernie Hudson. Just one more question for Minister Hudson. We've had the rent supplement program for some time in PEI. I'm wondering if there has been an increase in the number of rent supplements that have been distributed, I guess, over the last couple of weeks.
Thank you. I believe that was Stu, was it, from The Guardian? So I
Yes,
do
sir.
thank you for that question, Stu. Each one of the divisions in my department have a 1-800 number that if there are any concerns, and that could be with regard to social support, seniors, housing. And we have not seen any noticeable increase in that at this point in time. We are there certainly looking at what may be required. As my colleague Minister McKay had said, we're looking at programs. We want to ensure that no islanders are left behind. And I guess if I could follow up on that as well, Stu, certainly one of the things that we have heard, that I have heard, and I think a number of my cabinet colleagues have heard too, is just a concern as this situation that we find ourselves in with regard to COVID-19 continues on. What situation may that put tenants in? And as you may recall, back on March 19th, I confirmed that there would be no evictions from the PEI Housing Corporation. Just the day before that, the Premier had discussions with landlords on that very matter, and certainly urging the landlords to work with tenants during this very difficult time. Subsequent to that, on March 23rd, IRAC announced that they would be putting a hold on any eviction hearings until April 6th. And my colleague as well, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, Minister Thompson, they have made application filed with the courts to stay all evictions for the immediate time during the COVID-19 situation.
Thank you.
Sean McDougall, Eastern Graphic.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This question sort of builds off of Stu Neepy's questions about housing. For Minister Hudson, if someone calls the 1833 number and they are either at risk or in unstable housing, or if they don't have any housing at all, what is the province able to do for those folks?
Thank you for that question. And just on that, since the 1833 number went up, for information, there have been 82 calls have come in on that, 9 of them requiring immediate action. All of those were food related. So the other thing too is I had mentioned each of the divisions under my department have their own individual 1833 or 1877 numbers. There have been no calls at this point in time with regard to that situation. The other thing is that we do have the emergency homeless support line that goes into the Salvation Army, Bedford McDonald House, and in the case, it could be an individual in Charlottetown, West Prince, Southern Kings, if they find themselves in a situation that they do not have a roof over their head, accommodations will be made for them.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Thank you. Travis Kingdon, CBC.
Hi, this question's for Dr. Morrison. I was wondering if you can tell me how many people have been moved from hospitals into private or public long-term or community care homes to get down to that 75% occupancy rate in beds.
So I don't have the exact number here. I know Health PI and Marion Dowling certainly would be able to help provide that, and we can get you those numbers. It's part of trying to make room in the hospital to accommodate the expected increase in hospitalized cases in these next weeks. So I don't have that number, but it's something that we can certainly get for you, and or Marion Dowling could speak to maybe tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there a follow-up, Travis?
No.
John Morris?
Yeah, Dr. Morrison, the 2 positive tests that just came back, when were they sent in to Winnipeg?
Sorry, you cut out for just a second there. I'm sorry.
The 2 tests that were just received back, when were they sent into the test lab?
A good question. I walked down without any. I literally got off the phone pretty much and came down, so I don't have the test dates here, but they arrived back to Charlottetown last week, and then a few days later started having symptoms, and I believe were tested sometime over the weekend or early this week.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you.
All right, that's it. So thank you all for the updates here and for all the questions. And as always, stay safe and follow the directions you've been given by Dr. Morrison. Thank you.